Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where in the world you are joining me from. I am 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐈𝐍. This is the Crypto and Cognac podcast show, as always, live every Thursday, 7 p.m. sharp Atlantic Standard Time, right here on the People Them YouTube, on the People Them Internet. What's up? What's up, guys? We are back. Yes, sir. I told y'all. Y'all didn't listen to me, but I told y'all, right? So today started off as a rough day. You know, these grays don't come by themselves, coming into these old body pains. But it didn't end bad at all. It's not ending badly at all, because why? We are back over 100, baby, right? Also, Manchester United into the finals of the UEFA Championship, of the winning convincingly 4-1, 7-1 on aggregate. And because of that, we gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have some X to the O's today to celebrate, because you know, if I'm here and you're here, any day, right? As always, we do it on the results. So good. Cheers. As always, remember to drink, drive, and degen responsibly. And as we get into safety tips, I think we should do some housekeeping. As always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not a financial advisory podcast. Nothing that you hear here this evening should be misconstrued as financial advice. It's all about information, conversation, education, most time entertainment, right? And always Hennessy. Guys, like I said, like I've been saying, the bull run is far from over. The bull run is far from over. Stop panicking. Stop panicking, right? We had to get back here. When we were down in the 70s and people were panicking, talking about it might be over, try to count your blessings, take your savings, go home with whatever you have. I said, bro, it's too early. It's too early. Like I said, end of July, I might push it back. September around there is when I might be looking to check out. But we are back above 100,000. We have not been here since February of this year, right? And for those of you who don't understand, 100K is a very significant and sentimental milestone, right, in the life of BTC, right? So that is why we are going to celebrate this to the hilt. Being back above here, we went up and we touched 104,000 for a bit. Come back now down to a little 102, and wherever we correct to, we're gonna bounce. We're gonna range from here. Maybe give the alts a little bit of time to catch up, but wherever we move from here, I think it's such an important step that we have now reclaimed the 6-figure mark in this crypto space. And why is this happening? Of course, there are macroeconomic, there are microeconomic factors. The US UK trade deal has, people feeling a little bit more confident about what's happening in the world, especially after that period of trade tariff uncertainty. Of course, institutional investors continue to play a significant role with inflows into spot Bitcoin ETFs reaching as high as $5.3 billion in the past 3 weeks. Of course, we are continuing to see the fact that miners don't have enough supply to maintain the demand, and that is only going to become worse and worse as people start stockpiling. And of course, the pro-crypto political climate in the US, right? Obviously, say what you want about him. President Donald Trump's pro-crypto stance has been significant. We've seen a lot of pro-crypto appointments in key positions. We've seen the SEC and the CFTC take very positive or neutral stances in terms of regulation, backing off on legal action against certain high-profile cryptocurrencies like XRP. And of course, from a microeconomic standpoint, the Bitcoin halving event, which happened last year, April, we are now 1 year fully removed from that. This is the time where we usually see the pump starting, miners' rewards having been reduced significantly coming off of that halving, and then obviously increased adoption, like I said, as the political environment around crypto improves. People who have been sitting on the fence are going to become more and more bold. We are seeing more and more institutional players stepping up as it relates to investing in Bitcoin for their treasury, raising capital specifically with the intention of holding and acquiring Bitcoin is becoming more and more popular. The success of companies like MicroStrategy, who have been accumulating Bitcoin like it's going out of style. It might be. I mean, every SAT owned is another SAT off the board, and we only have 21 million BTCs. So that continues to make things a little bit more complicated. We have market sentiments improving. Analysts like Sanders, charters, reassessing their initial cycle top for Bitcoin price action, expecting as high as 200,000 for 2025. I myself has said, I think we are either gonna reject at around 175, 180. If we go past that, I think we're gonna blow through 200 and maybe get closer to maybe 235. But I personally think we're gonna tap out at around 168, 172, somewhere around there for this cycle, right? Of course, people who have been on the side of caution continue to be. People continue to talk about the fact that Bitcoin remains a very much a high beta risk asset. So it's not all gold and honey and all this kind of thing. There are some people out there still on the not so positive side of the fence. We don't exist over there. They're not serving henny over there. So we do line with them, right? Of course, when Bitcoin goes and when Bitcoin blows, we expect to see altcoins follow closely behind. And so we expect to see a period of volatility, right? We know that this market does not come without volatility. We expect Bitcoin to pump a little bit more, and then as Bitcoin kind of cools off and starts going sideways, we're gonna expect to see a little bit of movement. Ethereum has been dormant, to say the least, this cycle. Usually they're one of the tokens leading the charge. We recently saw them have their Petra upgrade. Let's see what that does for Ethereum enthusiasts. It's supposed to have been a significant upgrade, which is supposed to increase roll-up efficiency, obviously, supposedly slash gas fees, which has been significant deterrent for the growth of the Ethereum network. And it is supposed to boost interoperability with layer twos. Of course, if the gas price is reduced, people are going to be able to move in between layer twos and the Ethereum mainnet, because of course the cost of bridging is not going to be so significant. ETH ETF approvals in the US are also pending, so maybe that is going to create a little bit of a trigger and spark more significant inflows into the Ethereum network, just like it did for BTC. And then, Ethereum continues and has always been a bit of a lag behind Bitcoin. So hopefully, seeing what Bitcoin does, Ethereum is able to follow on from that. Solana, another one of the major altcoins and the major networks, continues to do what it does. It continues to be the go-to network for just activity, right? It continues to be the blockchain of choice, very, very high throughput of applications, processing as many as 65 million daily transactions, and the on-chain activity continues to hit more and more all-time highs. So Solana is going to continue to do what it does. The Solana ecosystem, the developers continue to be strong. The developer network continues to be strong on Solana. So we are going to expect to continue to see more and more growth on Solana. Are we going to see meme coins wake back up again? Because you know that they play on the Solana ecosystem. So we have a lot of work expected. What else? What else to expect, boy? I guess the big question, after Bitcoin blows out, which we are seeing happening now, as altcoins are going to follow, which is to be expected. I think the biggest question mark over this cycle has never been as it relates to Bitcoin all-time highs, or even if all season is going to come. But I think the biggest question mark of this cycle is, are NFTs going to do anything at all? Last cycle, NFTs had their time in the sun, but we've not seen that happen this particular cycle. Of course, we are seeing some stabilization on Ethereum NFTs, maybe with the cost of transactions coming down. We might see some activity happen there. Solana-based NFTs continue to show increased daily mints and wallet activity. Of course, integration with AI continues to be strong in the NFT space. But I think NFTs need to kind of reposition themselves. I think in the last cycle, there was a significant focus on art and these limited one of 10,000 PFP type NFTs. And I think what we're going to see this cycle in terms of a resurgence of NFTs is where NFTs are going to do better, where they focus around function and not just about flex, not just about I have this and you can't afford it. And I think with that happening, we're going to see a little bit of resurgence in the NFT space. I am hopeful. I think it's one of the most functional applications of crypto as it relates to authentication, as it relates to um, decentralization of asset ownership. So I'm looking forward to seeing NFTs really step forward and really do a lot of amazing things. I know there are people in this space who continue to build around NFTs, so I'm looking forward to it. But all in all, just happy to see us back above that 100,000 mark. If you guys are still here, if you've survived this correction, more power to you. If you've survived multiple cycles, more power to you. You deserve every single bit of growth you experience in your portfolio. You deserve every bit of profit you choose to take. I can't imagine how excited these guys who've been around since 2010, 2011 must feel seeing this happen, because us getting back to 100,000 kind of reaffirms the value proposition, that belief system that adoption is inevitable. So very excited for that to happen. Guys, a lot of exciting things are happening, right? I'm very, very keen on sharing those things with you guys shortly. On both the crypto and on the cognac side of things. So stay tuned. As always, thank you for checking in. Thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you for having a drink with me. Cheers, salute, congratulations, big up on yourself, however you say it, wherever you're from, right? As I say always, I've said it here tonight, I'm going to say it again. Adoption is inevitable. 100,000 guys. Let's do it! Right? Guys, Illuminati, OUT, out.